Hello, my name is Matisse Cavodio. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the death of Multiple Man that takes place in X Factor 100. And it's like one of those, specifically Multiple Man, like he's died a bunch of times. So it doesn't have too much of an impact, especially because of the nature of his powers. Like um, a writer can always put in that it's just one of his dupes and the real deal wasn't there or something like that. So in this particular story, it's 90s as hell. It came out in 1994. This messianic type of villain. Her name is Haven, that we've seen a billion times before. Her idea is to cull the herd of humanity. 3/4 of everyone on Earth has to die so she can usher in this new golden age. It's going to be a utopia where humans and mutants are going to get along. The story is written by J.M. DeMatteis and art by Jan Duursema. Duursema, yeah, that's it. And but she's pretty well written as a villain. Like it could have been a really mediocre story, good guys versus bad guys. Bad guy just wants to do something really terrible because they're bad, but she's written in a way that you can she sort of convinces you that her intentions are pure. She really wants to do this because she thinks it's something good in her heart, even though she's going to go full on genocide on all of humanity. Her powers are sort of weird. I'm not really sure the extent of her powers. But like at the beginning of the story, she cures Wolfsbane of her connection, mental connection that she has with Havoc. That goes all the way back to Extinction Agenda. So she was like obsessed with Havoc and overprotective of her. She cures him, and she has like these bunch of satellites around the world because those satellites are going to be the ones that are going to bring this apocalypse. X Factor tells her, "It's like, no way, Jose, you're not going to do that. You're not going to go through with your plans." She just teleports these guys away to this weird dimension that just just turns these guys inside out. They go through a living nightmare. To come back, this dude called Monsoon, actually that was working with Haven, decides to flip sides, decides to join X Factor. We have this epic battle between Haven's forces and our mutant team. And in this story, we have Multiple Man. He's dying of the legacy virus. Not all the team members knew about the situation. And some of his duplicates are actually sort of interested in joining Haven. See, because they saw him cure Wolfsbane. No one could fix her. And so maybe they can cure him of the legacy virus. That the concept of the legacy virus was really awesome. I loved it. Some writers were able to incorporate it within X-Men stories because it was a virus that only affected mutants. Like it leaned heavily onto the whole idea of the situation with the AIDS epidemic during the 80s and 90s. People suffering through this type of disease that and the stigma related to that disease. And some writers were able to write some pretty compelling stories thanks to the legacy virus. So X Factor are able to destroy the satellite that's going to bring the apocalypse. And it's so funny because like him stops fighting, all of a sudden everyone says, it's like, no, I'm not going to waste resources. Like you guys messed up my plans. Just leave it there. I'll come back with a new plan. My men, I'm not going to expose my men to more unnecessary deaths. Like that part sort of caught me off guard. But what happens is Multiple Man is just straight up dying from the disease. She says she's going to cure him, even though X Factor ruined her plans. I was going to use another word. I couldn't remember how to say it in English. Because she sees herself at heart as a good person, tries to cure Havoc, Jamie. This page is really good because Havoc taking the decisions like, okay, go ahead, do it. We can't do anything. She tries to, and Jamie dies. And it's actually a really sad and tragic death. And bringing him back pretty fast, he came back pretty fast, undermines the impact of this story. And the good thing is, like, this actually produces a crisis of faith within Haven as a character. Like, she really thought she was like the voice of God and all that. And this sort of breaks her. And that's what elevates this particular story from mediocre 90s superhero battle to being a sort of interesting character. And the sad thing is she never popped up again. Like, very sparingly she would appear. It seems like she was very influenced by a villain called the Adversary. That's what he was, like the guy behind her, pushing her to do this the whole situation of calling the herd and stuff like that. It would be cool to see her pop up back in the Hickman's run. yeah, with Hickman's type of style, you can do some interesting stuff with this character. So I'm gonna leave this video here. Hope you guys liked it. Read Old School X Factor, be it the Cyclops team, the Havoc team, Ford's team. All of them are good. So see you guys next time. Bye.